Hey guys, Hecon's here with another World of Warcraft video. Welcome back to the weekly series where we take a look at a few mailboxes, talk about World of Warcraft gold making, and answer any questions that you guys had for me from last week's video. Remember that if you have any questions, you can leave them as a comment down below and they may get featured in an upcoming video. So this is the mailbox that I wanted to share with you guys this week. You can see that it's just a one-pager with only 50 mail, but there's pretty close to 1.5 million gold waiting to be collected. 1.48 million. I did have to loot some of the deep sea satin sales already to get this down to one page, but you can see that I have around 87.7k in my bags and then 1.48 in the mailbox, so made around 1.55 million, I guess. And it's a realm where I transferred to around 6 days ago, so really nice for 5 to 6 days worth of sales. So in the video from 2 weeks ago, we talked about rolling an ult and using a boost to get set up on a new realm. I thought I would share this mailbox this week to show you guys an alternative method, which is simply to roll an ult and then do a character transfer. Remember, the character transfer costs $25. You can pay for that using balance, so if you just convert your gold into balance, it's going to be roughly 240k at today's prices. In some cases, that may actually be better than using the boost. One, it's a lot cheaper. And then two, you can transfer over a bunch of items that you can't craft. So in the example from 2 weeks ago, I was rolling ults and using a boost so they could craft Dark Moon decks. But on a RP realm like Wyrmrest Accord, which this is, I wanted to bring over a bunch of BOEs that I could flip at a nice profit. As you guys can see, the Blade of the Northern Kings went for 114k. I picked up 2 of these for under 50k. The Dragon Rider harnesses were down to around, I think my average buy is around 30k. And yeah, I managed to flip one for 142.5k on this RP realm. And then a second one for 185.2k. This was my first sale actually on this realm. Really nice flip. The Aguas I picked up for 40k. I managed to get 145k on this realm. And then the Great Sea Rays were down to like under 30k on my main realm, so brought one of those over and managed to sell one for 60k. You can see that I did bring over a bunch of Dark Moon decks as well. I had a bunch on my main realm anyways, so figured I'd split up my stock and sell some here, while selling some on my main realm as well. Pretty solid sale so far. The T-Boos, I think I mentioned, I picked up a bunch at between probably like 50 to 80k, around like 60k average. And on this realm, I've been able to sell one for 142k. I think the prices are down to around 100k, but still should see some nice profit if we can move those at 100k, since our average buy is around 60. Pretty solid start on this realm so far. You can see the auction's around like 5 to 6 days old, so been here less than a week and I'm already up like 1.5 million. So the first question comes from a Late Gaming 2569 who asks, when did you start gold making? Also, what did you start doing when you first started gold making? So I didn't actually start playing WoW until towards the end of Kata. I did have a bunch of friends that played back in vanilla, but I was more into Counter-Strike back then, so that's what I played. I ended up going to uni, so I don't think that would have left me very much time to play an MMO either way. As far as gold making, I started gold making in WoD. Pretty much when they added the ability to pay for game time using WoW Gold, using the token. That was my original motivation for getting into gold making. As far as what I was doing, pretty much what everyone else was doing. Just getting a bunch of ults leveled up and the garrison optimized for gold making. Making hexweed bags. Sending followers out on missions. Farming Savage Bloods and the Fellblight from the weekly boss. I also remember doing like pet farming and like cattle raids were pretty good before they nerfed it, so did those for raw gold. And then towards the end of WoD, I got into raiding, so I was raiding like heroic mythic level and got a bunch of BOE, so I was selling those on the auction house and decided to give flipping a go and did really well with that, so stuck with it. And yeah, we had those 101s back in Legion and made really good gold with those as well. And then even like raid BOEs right now are quite profitable, so yeah, I think that's it. So the next question comes from Emery, who asked, so I ended up asking a question on this video. If I prefer to have all the professions on one realm and focus all my gold making on that. Yes, I'm making fewer gold than you, but I just prefer it that way. What's your take on that? So I think it's perfectly acceptable to have all the professions on one realm. And yeah, just focus on that one realm. In a lot of cases, some of the professions have synergy when it comes to gold making. For example, if you're shuffling for Expulsum, you're going to need at least one tailor or one leather worker on that realm, so there's instances where having all the professions on one realm might help you out more than having them spread out on different realms. I think it depends on the realm and what you're doing for gold making, so I think there's a lot more to consider than just how many realms you're on and how many professions you have on that realm. So the next question comes from Oliver Takanen, who asked, what's your total gold earned since you started? So as far as total gold earned or acquired, I don't have an exact number as I haven't totaled that up, but I can tell you that I'm sitting on around 275 million gold liquid right now. So a little over a quarter of the way to my 1 billion gold challenge. Update coming soon, TM. As far as total gold earned, I'd probably guess pretty close to like 600 million. Maybe even like 700 or 800 million, but I'm not too sure. I do have a bunch of major bankers which are pretty close to that 100 million gold acquired mark, and plenty of smaller bankers and alts that are between like 25 to say like 80 or 90 million gold acquired, so I would say at least like 600 million, but as high as like 800 million as well. But might eventually total that up and share that statistic with you guys. I do sometimes post on Twitter statistics of my major bankers, just showing how much gold acquired I have, but I don't think the gold acquired number is too relevant. You should always be looking at your stock as well as your liquid gold. So yeah, 275 million gold liquid. Gonna try and hit 300 in the next month or so, and do an update for the 1 billion gold challenge. So thanks for the question, and yeah, sorry I don't have an exact number for you. So the next question comes from Oni Ogre, who asked, if I'm well established on high/full pop realms, what's your recommendation for getting better sales? So on the high and full pop realms, you're going to run into a lot more competition, so first recommendation is to undercut and relist more often. Second recommendation, if you're already saturated the high and full pop realms, you might consider moving to some medium pops and getting set up there. There is something called the Product Market Expansion Grid, which might help you. It's a tool that's used in marketing quite a bit to identify any growth opportunities, expand into new markets. It's definitely something that's useful to know, and it can be applied to even things like World of Warcraft gold making. So if you're interested in that, I would definitely look it up, and hopefully it helps you with your gold making. So the last question comes from Frodo, who asked, thanks for answering my last question. My question would be if you could make a 0 to gold cap challenge. So this is actually a question that comes up often on my channel. I am working on that 1 billion gold challenge, which is my main focus right now in terms of gold making. However, there does seem to be enough interest in the 0 to gold cap challenge that I might do that sometime on one of my other realms. Set up on a new realm, and I assume I would have to start at level 1 and work my way up. I wouldn't be able to like transfer a bunch of items over, get gold cap in like a day or something, but if you do have some sort of interest in that, let me know, and yeah, I can put something together maybe in the next month or so. Like get set up and then show you guys what I'm doing. So that's going to be it for today's video. Thank you so much to everyone that left me a question in last week's video. Remember that if you want to ask me anything, feel free to leave me a comment down below, and your question may be featured in an upcoming video. As always, a huge shout out to my supporters on Patreon. Thank you so much for your support. Hope you guys all have a great week, and I will see you guys in the next video. Late.